Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Hey, Jerry, how are you? Hunnigan, what's going on? Hey, Mother Truck, how you guys doing? Welcome everybody to the Trading Syndicate for, oh gosh, it's Wednesday, right? Why does it feel like Friday already? I'm good, I'm good. Uh, hope everyone's doing well. So, hey, Mikey, what's going on? How you doing? Well, here we go again. Uh, I would like a couple more days of liquidation, but hey, you take what you can get, right? So another spectacular pump and dump in the ES. Pump 2 days ago, dump yesterday. Grab all that cheap inventory, sell it at night. Markets are working as nature intended, right? So overnight inventory is now a little long. We're disposing of the inventory we had to take in yesterday on that liquidation, right? You can see the shorts are trapped under 12 because that's where the bid is. Real simple, right? I'll tell you something that a lot of people won't tell you. In this market, not in every market, but in these particular markets, support is created by trap shorts. Support is created by unfilled buy orders. And that's generally what trap shorts are. They're unfilled buy orders. They're waiting to buy back. That's the overnight low, right? So the overnight low is what? 67.11 and three quarters. Hey, Juan, how are you? You know, I'm probably betting there's a good amount of people who are trapped underneath the overnight low from yesterday. Everybody anticipates when we have a sell off, what we sold off from 67, 56, 57. We sold off all the way down to 6,700. You get, a big 50, 60 point sell off. Everybody thinks there's going to be continuation. And this market has a horrible habit of shutting off the supply just when everybody gets short. And getting short at the bottom of a market is really easy to do. And it seems like when you talk about it, it seems like, well, why would anybody short down there? Because you miss the short at 45. By the time you get it together, it's at 35. And say you miss up that and you miss it all the way, or you come back, you're outside, you come back, and you see the market is liquidated. You're like, oh, maybe it'll go lower, right? It's already gone down 50 points. Maybe it'll go down another 20 or 30. Hey, Ron, good morning. And then you start initiating underneath that 67.16, and then it moves up at the end of the day, and now you're trapped. It's very easy to do. So just like we had single prints to the upside, which were short positions, now we have single prints to the downside, right? Which is the opposite of a short position. It's excess supply. So now that the market has gone up from 67.20 up to 25, it's gone up into that red area to get contracts because there's nothing for sale underneath 20 right now. Let's go see. There we go. Hey, AO, how you doing? Right. So we're in this area of single prints. right? That is a chunk of supply. It's resistance, right? Because there are people trapped long above that and in that area when they took that stop in G. Let's see. I got balance zones. I got 13 half to 16 and 3/4, double it to 23. And I think we're just going to go sideways here. I think it's going to be another horribly slow session where we just kind of go sideways and get rid of this and this. You see the path of the inventory? And then here, if we run out, we'll see. What's up, Raj? How you doing? Hey, Black Swan, what's going on? Little distribution here above 20. Slow, huh? No, no, I'm just not talking. Sorry. I'm just sitting here watching, thinking, what's the next move? Is my audio cutting out for everyone? I was being quiet for a second as I was thinking about this. Ugh. Okay, good to know. Oh boy. So today's Wednesday. Month end is on Monday. So we have today, tomorrow, and Friday for all of those end of quarter shorts to come in and start covering. Hey, Buckwan, how you doing? I was kind of hoping this liquidation would bring better price action. I need to show my face? Why is that? Nobody wants to see my face. I'm an old guy. What do they want to see my face for? It's not like I'm Brad Pitt or something. I mean, good grief. I'm just an old gnarl. I'm just an old trader. There it is my profile pic. Oh. And of course, the market gets really, really nice and slow as soon as we start the session. Yeah, trust me, nobody wants to see my face. I'm just an old eye gouger from Vancouver. Okay, creeping up on that overnight high. I don't see a short yet, my friends who want a short. I know you're dying for a short, but I just don't see one yet. Maybe after the point of control moves up. Another slow night in 7-Eleven. Oh, that's a good trade location. Long 19? Oh, I'll buy that for $1. Hey, Moran, how are you? You know, Mother Truck, as long as the lows, like if you look, basically, people who are wondering what these letters are, all this is a fancy looking half-hour candle chart, right? So each letter period is every half-hour bar. And as long as look at this, there's a little stop here, but it's pretty much one time framing up, right? Which is trend up. So when you see that on a half-hour candle, it tells you that the buyers are following the sellers higher, right? Which is very advantageous if you're long. Like, say, our friend's long 19 here, you know, you can stay long and just move your stop up to the bottom of the next half hour candle, right? Yeah. Yeah, yesterday's POC was 15, today's is 18, and now we're selling 24, right? So pure distribution, right? Yesterday we took in all the stale donuts, right? Right. All that stale inventory that nobody wanted up here, right? Nobody wanted to hold this, so they just puked it all out, right? Those are the stale donuts, and now we're selling them at 3 o'clock in the morning to the drunk people outside the club. Classic business. Just commerce, folks, right? It's just simple commerce, like they say in Salt Lake City. Now we got a pour high. Yeah, sprinkle a little powdered sugar on them, put them back out there. And the thing is, at nighttime, Mother Truck, drunk people, they'll pay anything. So you could sell the donuts at, we bought them at 15, now we go and sell them at 25, right? It's a beautiful thing. That's why people always, they talk about the Globex or the night market, right? And they talk about the Asian Open and the London Open and all of this stuff. But all the night markets are there. They allow traders to finish unfinished business. So like yesterday, if I got long, right? If yesterday, on that liquidation, I had to take an inventory between 12 and 16, I can get rid of it at nighttime. It's a beautiful thing. If the market moves higher at the end of the day and I'm short, maybe at Globex I can buy some back cheaper, right? Get some cheap inventory. Now, Psychic Trader, good to have you with us. Why are futures green after Powell says markets are highly overvalued? That's because what people say and order flow are two totally different things. That's why when you're looking at markets, you want to look at the chart. Old business. So say I was short, right? Say I'm short 1,000 contracts and the market's rails up, right? Then you can go and complete that business at nighttime. Yeah, that's probably the only time I've ever used that phrase, right? Old business, new business, right? I don't use it with footprint charts and all of that because I have no idea what they're talking about with that. But I'm talking it from an inventory perspective, back one. So say your inventory long from yesterday's liquidation, and you're a wholesaler, and you had to take in 10,000 contracts between 12 and 16. Well, then tonight is a beautiful time to start getting out of those contracts at a higher price, right? Does that make sense? Because it's just inventory. Futures markets are just nothing more than inventory. Like there's nothing macro about them. Macro stuff gets played out, but the order flow is all inventory, right? You have inventory and you have people coming in to either buy or sell the inventory. Very simple, right? It's all you got to do is just trust the chart. Overnight is for getting out of bad situations. So if I get caught short, I can maybe do some covering at night. If I got caught long, I can maybe get rid of some, right? It's for large traders to access liquidity. That is the fancy way of saying, I'm a little offside here. I can go and clean up my book, right? So if I got caught long yesterday, right, this is the classic catcher's mitt, right? No, no, they don't choose to do this at night. It's an opportunity, right? Because at night, back one, there's less competition. So if I'm a seller, I have less competing sellers. That's why we're in these red single prints. In the daytime, we might have not have even cracked 21 because they'd come and sell in. Nighttime is a great time, right? To to sneak around. Are you guys familiar with that saying, under the cover of night? Right? So if you need to do something, right, night is great because most people, the markets are closed, everybody's asleep. You've never heard that saying, under the cover of night? You probably never hung out with criminals. Anyway, so uh, right, right. So you could do some business, right? I need to get rid of some of this inventory, right? I had to, you know, like here's the thing. Okay, say I'm a market maker, and one of my big clients comes in yesterday and goes, "Hey JJ, I need you to put up 1,000 ES contracts for me," right? And the guy gives me a huge amount of business, so I eat it, right? I take in 1,000, and I like, where do you need to get out of them? They're like, 16, right? Okay, I buy 1,000 at 16, right? So sometimes you gotta eat, as we used to call it, you gotta eat paper, right? You gotta put up trades if you're a market maker. These guys are giving you billions of dollars of business. You just eat it, you know. At nighttime now, I can get rid of it, right? You know, yeah. So, you know, there we go. No reason to short this thing. So the higher it goes means the more people shorted it. See, what happens is, yesterday the smart money they covered. The smart money shorts covered, right? And then wholesale, like, oh, sorry, let me just squeeze this down. So yesterday, when the market put in its lows, the smart money shorts covered. Wholesale builds a position on top of that, right? And then we come along and start going long. But the problem is, in these areas, you get the dumb money shorts. People who shorted here, added here, and added here. Once they figure out that they're screwed, that's what causes these candles higher. They all come into cover, and the position's under 20. So everybody who owns paper is just going to go, sorry, you got to pay more, right? That's the sequence of buying, just like there's a sequence in selling, right? So let's see if we could get up to 31. Up to 31. Is the ES the hardest market to trade? I don't think so. I think the NQ is a lot more difficult for beginners because it's a thin market. I don't know what the hardest market to trade is, Black Swan, because I've focused really on ES ever since I started retail trading. I found the ES, and it just seems to work. Was it hard to learn? Yeah, it was, because I had nobody telling me any normal information, right? Everybody I talked to gave me some kooky crap about this indicator and that indicator and upside down chocolate mint ice cream pattern and all this crap. I had no idea, right? You're not supposed to trade microcaps, trade maker. Sorry. You're not supposed to try and trade microcaps. Microcaps are me to sell to the unsuspecting public. You're not supposed to trade that crap. It's garbage, right? Trading microcaps is like dumpster diving, especially if I'm on the other end with 300 million shares and I'm just pumping them into the market, right? Can we expect it? I'd say so. Let's see, Psychic Trader. Let's see if they get a little bit of a seller up there at 31. Always let the chart tell you, right? You can expect things, but always defer to the chart. Yeah, I would say microcaps are harder to trade than ES because here's the secret. You're not supposed to make any money trading microcaps. You're supposed to buy them and be suckers, and we're supposed to sell microcap stock and then go to the Bentley dealership. That's how the world works, right? We sell stock to you, and then we go shopping, and you get a tax loss. That's how that life works, right? It's not really to trade, right? It's horrible. Ugh. Yeah, I always wondered, I'd be filling bids. They'd call me, I can bid 200,000 shares at $3, 100,000 shares at buck 50, you know. And I'm wondering who's buying this penny stock. And then I went to Vegas for the first time and I saw a guy lose $50,000 playing blackjack. And he lost 50 grand in it was like 10 minutes. And I was like, this is who's buying this crappy stock that I'm selling all day long. Yeah, he lost 50 grand in like 10 minutes and he wasn't even phased. Amazing. I do not try. I only trade ES, Psychic Trader. I'm an old man, been trading for 33 years, taking companies public, making markets. So I like simplicity. I like to trade the ES, make my daily bread. So this channel is all about teaching normal, regular people who don't have industry background, teaching them how to make a living trading instead of getting caught up in all the mumbo jumbo and double talk and BS that goes around. So what we do is we have simple trades that are based on common sense business. I like the ES because it's a stable market. I like trading it in Globex when it's decent price action because it's nice and slow. It's also great to teach people at night. That's the whole thing. I've never traded gold. I've never traded oil. I've done oil and gas deals. I've done gold deals. Financed gold companies. I've drilled for oil in Southern California out of Bakersfield. Drilled for gold in Alaska. I've never traded the stuff. All right. So, yeah, it's a simple life. Yeah, so if you are short, like say you're tempted, right? If you're shorting ES off of that high, well, you can use 26.5 as your stop, as your warning level, and you can use 28 as your out. So if you're short, those are your outs. Where would you look for a cover? Right here at 23, 24, kind of the first place, right? Because what you're doing is you're shorting a backfill, right? You take a market up to create demand, then you go and back and you fill in that demand with supply. That's how you distribute. That's what's going on now is distribution, right? Right? When you take a market up, it brings in all the suckers, and then some people will put limit orders, so you go back and you just tap, 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 right? Put it on sale, put it on sale. I'll kind of look around here to see if the buyers come in, because I see a little bit of a position here. Don't say suckers. Ugh. Say the uninformed. I don't do political correctness, AO. I'm a bit old, man. I've been doing this a long time, right? And I like people to remember because the word suckers is offensive. You don't ever want to be one, right? I talk plain English so people remember. When people remember, they don't screw up. We sugarcoat everything in society now, and that's why people don't learn. Because when they screw up, we pat them on the head and say, oh, that's okay. It's not a good thing to do in trading, and it would never happen in a place of business, right? You don't get to blow up accounts in the real world, right? You don't get to blow up accounts in the real world. Well, we find some bids around 25. And not the greatest short. See? So the backfill, right? Those red candles down from 28 down to 25. That just brought in buyers. You put price on sale for like 5 or 6 minutes, right? London opens, the buyers come in. See, now you get a big green candle as everyone's trying to cover that short and the supply is being yanked higher. I think the trading will be better in RTH today. And I mean, it's kind of slow and crappy right now. But I think later on in Globex we might have some nice moves, hopefully. So we got a seller at 26 and 3/4. Good to know. Let's see if we can break the 24s. So if you were short, it would have hit your warning level, but it wouldn't have taken your stop if you were using 28 and change. Now we're looking for the offer to come down underneath 24. Come on. Come on, sellers. Nimble Jack, real name's Matt. Okay. Hey, Matt, can you talk about M period distribution from Monday RTH and Tuesday RTH? What would you like to know? How can I help? So Monday was distribution, right? Monday is distribution at the end of the day and buy-ins. Yesterday was liquidation and accumulation. Does that help? Is that what you're talking about? Basically, we pumped it, then we dumped it. I think we could get down to 23 and a quarter. Come on, give it the old college try. We're almost there. One tick away. There we go. 23 half. Yeah, on Monday it was buy-ins. So the market went up ridiculously high on Monday, right, Matt? And we had buy-ins. People got bought in, short sellers. And then yesterday it all came falling apart because we ran out of buying. And yesterday down here in M period, we have accumulation of that product that got sold out from the day before. Does that make sense? It's a very sort of penny stock agenda, right? It's this is a typical pump and dump, right? Except the reason it's happening in these large markets is because these markets are being run by speculators, right? So you have inventory here, right? You take it and you sell it and you jam people with it here. When they get sick of buying, right, they start to sell. So if I sold you 500 contracts here going, yeah, don't worry, it's going to do this, right? So you're long 500 contracts that I sold to you. I paid this for it. This is my cost basis. Your cost basis is up here. So you start to sell. When you start to sell, I take your legs out and undercut your price. Because all the wholesalers own it here, they'll start, you go 45, we go 40, we go 40. You go 40, we go 39. You go 39, we go 35. And we push you out. Buy it all back from you here and then resell it again at night. That's basically what we call the path of inventory. Inventory, pump, dump, clean, right back up and sell it. It's just like a used car lot, right? You take the cars, you put them out there, the public buys them, right? Then they can't afford the payments. They bring them back. You give them a much lower price. Take the difference. Little armor all on the tires. Little detail. Put them back on the lot. Sell them again. That is the process, right? People come in here, right? The smart money accumulates, distributes. Beats it back down to where they bought it. Stop selling, take price back up. And it's just rinse and repeat. However, we are rinsing and repeating. I mean, look at that chart. My God. It's crazy. You know, this market is just unbelievable. And the nice thing is now your shorts are starting to pay, right? Your little, right? If you were short, we're coming underneath. There's that 22. Beautiful, right? Saw a seller, sold alongside. Nice trade. Well done. Right? So we didn't quite get to 31. Let's see. Next targets will be 19 and a quarter if we can break 22. That's cool. Breaking 21, we'll come back down to this 19 area. Those of you who took the short, well done. It's good. It's nice to see a short work out for once. Enjoy it while it lasts. Oh boy. What a whack job market this is, I tell you. And we're dropping in on that 19. VWAP still in the same place, or are we underneath it now? Ah, there it is. Right back down to VWAP. Ah, well, you know, when dogs and cats, if you're late on their feeding, they get very, very upset with us human servants, you know. Can't miss the cat feeding time. They get angry at the help. Oh yeah, if you yeah, they'll let you know definitely, eh? They scream at you like they haven't been fed in like 2 weeks. It's been 2 hours. All right. If we get back underneath VWAP, these are our lower stops. Of course, the first target's going to be the close, and then that point of control from yesterday. Nice work, Psychic Trader. Well done. And London actually liquidated. Good to see. So the markets are actually functioning very normally, right? Taking that, selling it, putting it on sale when London opens, right? And we'll see if we can just consolidate here. If any more real sellers show up, be very curious if we could test the overnight low again. So under VWAP, we're targeting 16 and 3/4. If we get past the point of control at 18, the overnight one, yeah, price action's not bad. Good, good, good. There's 16 and 3/4. There's the close. Next target is 15 and a quarter, which is the point of control from yesterday. Let's see, is this a look below and fail of 16 and 3/4? If it is, your upside limitation is VWAP. And if you get past VWAP, Jury, your next target's going to be up here. Whoop. Right. You might be a little early on that long. But that's okay. I always trade too early too on a lot of my trades. Oh, you got out. Nice. Well done. Way to hustle. Take it again here. Try that 17 and a half. Can I get out at 18 and a half? Curious. Out at 18 and a half. Okay. That worked. Not great trades, but it pays to wait a little longer. Oh, that's pretty much it for me. Let's see how short they really are from yesterday. I'll use these levels here. Right, the point of control, that C low, the B low, right? If we get any serious liquidation, we're going to come down and tickle that 67.12 area. If they're really short from yesterday, they'll come back and start buying in this area. So that's what I'm waiting for. See how it's going back and forth where the position was in the overnight? So right back to cost basis, right? Liquidations take you right back to cost basis. That's normal business. And that's good. It's healthy. Now we should go sideways here for a while and then rotate back up so we can get rid of what we buy between 17 and 19, right? We've got to buy it all back. And then we'll try and sell it at 21, 22. So if you're building a long position, right? Say you're building a long position under VWAP, like you're pretending you're a market maker. That's what market makers do, right? They'll build positions, right? And then as soon as they get to VWAP, they'll be on the sell side, right? See, they're selling already. See how they're front running VWAP? See, where they sold before, they will sell again. Now, how do I know this? Because I used to be one of them. So, you buy 4 or 5 contracts between 17 and 3/4, 18, start offering them out, right? Put your offers out there, right? God forbid you want to make $1 or two, right? Hey, it's great to hold trades for 15, 20, 30, 40 points. I don't mind making 2 to 3 points on 5 to 10 contracts. I'm very happy with that. It pays the bills. It's not glamorous. This method of trading that I'm really into, it's called grinding, and I learned about it 30 years ago. Because there was a brokerage firm. It was actually a brokerage firm owned out of Montreal, and in Vancouver they had an office, and they had like I think 30 or 40 people. I think it was 30, and they were all grinders. They just traded for a couple of $100 here, a couple of $100 there, and that's all they did all day. Just and everybody else was, big money commissions, making markets, doing this, right? But anytime you needed to borrow a couple of $100 grand, you went to the grinders. They always had cash. They were always flush. Yeah, so we're long that 17, half 18, selling them at 19. As the market goes higher, if that's how you can build little positions and sell into the strength. Right? Nice. Hopefully, Yeah, it's like you can cut the day up into different trades, so you don't have to sit in one trade all day. Put all your eggs in one basket, right? I had this old Italian client, and he would always say, "Don't get greedy when you're doing deals. A million here, a million there, it adds up. Don't be an idiot." And I take that to retail trading. 200 bucks here, 500 bucks there, 300 bucks there. It adds up. You'll be surprised. You're just wanting consistency, right? You want consistency and that smoothness. That's all, right? Nice and smooth. And that's why I'm an advocate of selling into strength, right? Because now, see, if I was long 18 and a half and I hadn't sold those 19s, right, I'd be sitting on inventory underwater, right, and hoping that it stays above 16 and three quarters, right? And now you're at the mercy of the market, right? So you're completely at the mercy of it. You're long at 18 and it's trading 16 and a quarter and going lower, right? Sell into strength when the inventory is above you, right? The inventory of the night is above current price. So don't look for those huge upside longs. Does that make sense? I'm trying to give you guys some practical information. Hopefully, hopefully some light bulbs will go off. So the inventory is above us, right? When I took that long, yes, no, anyone? Makes sense? Okay, thanks, Mother Truck. Right? So when inventory is above you and you're going long, don't be pig-headed thinking you're going to make a 20, 30 point trade. Take 8 ticks. Take what you can get. Right? There it is again. Look below and fail of 16 and change. So, if you're going long, say you're long 17 half 18, put your sell orders out, right? Don't be greedy. Don't be short-term greedy, right? Be long-term greedy, right? You know that there are sellers here, right? Simple, keep it simple, keep it practical, get paid, right? What you're looking for is consistency that you can always size up later. You want to get good, right? The skill has to come before the money, folks, right? You can't make money if you don't have the skill, right? And it's crazy to think that you can make money being completely unskilled. So come to the trading syndicate and I'll teach you some skill. We'll keep it simple, you know? Keep it simple. Keep it practical, keep it profitable, right? And that's what we do. You cannot expect to make money if you don't have any skill. And unfortunately, trading rooms don't talk about skill or developing skill. That's all we do. It's uncomfortable. It's got to be done, right? Skill, discipline, right? If I'm not making money, 9 times out of 10, it's because I'm not disciplined. Yeah, if you want to talk, Mother Truck, just give me a call. We'll hop on a phone call, and you know, not a problem. Right? For some reason, trading is the only business where people can think that they can enter it unskilled, and just walk away with money. I find that very fascinating. You know, I had a buddy of mine, William, one of the best scalpers I'd ever met. This guy could scalp 150, 200 trades a day. He was a maniac. I used to call him the human algo. One of the sharpest guys I'd met, and he was retail trading a lot longer than me. And when I started retail trading, he said, JJ, you should just watch for a few months before you even take real trades. And I'm like, wow, what are you, crazy? I know what I'm doing. I'm an ex-market maker. I got my ass handed to me. And it was embarrassing. So even myself, with 25 years of making markets and taking companies public, when it came to retail trading, I had to acquire the skills, right? That's what we got to do. And I work on them every day. Because some days you trade really well, and then some days you just trade like, ugh, horrible. Something's off, right? So you got to know on those days when to like lighten up, trade the micro, size down, all of that stuff. Just practical stuff. See you, Jerry. Yeah, we're done for this morning. Thank you, folks, for joining us. Come visit us at tradingsyndicate.org. I'm JJ. I really appreciate you being with us this morning. Be safe out there, okay? Don't let them steal your candy this close to month end, okay? If you need help, reach out. I'm around. Thanks, everyone. Oh, it's just vwaptrader1 at Gmail. Hang on, let me put it in here for you, mother truck. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you at 9 o'clock. Stay out of trouble till then. Okay, bye for now.